Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match that I found on LOTV.spawningtool.com between Lambo and ShoWTimE here on Year 0, the latter edition. Top left-hand corner is the blue Zerg player Lambo, and in the top right-hand corner is the red Protoss player ShoWTimE. So it's going to be a EU versus EU match here today. ShoWTimE considered one of the greatest Protoss players in our day. He's from Germany, and Lambo is a very excellent EU Zerg player. He is also from Germany as far as I know. I'm 95% sure of that, so let's go ahead and Google it real quick. If you search Lambo, Google assumes you're searching Lamborghini. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, he is German, playing for Team Kulash, whereas ShoWTimE is over on Arma Team. Okay, so a ZVP here on Year 0, which is just a take on the epilogue mission of the Legacy of the Void campaign. Look at this. Amon is lurking in the shadows. Overlord says, "Oh, hey Amon. I remember when you were controlling all the Zerg. But your time is over, old man. Kerrigan killed ya. And Kerrigan ascended into godhood, apparently. I'm not entirely sure what that means at the end of Legacy of the Void, but whatever. Whatever. It was a lot of fun. Hatch first year from Lambo, no real surprise. Probe harassing Lambo, no real surprise there either. And yeah, it's going to be a 1-gate expand into Cybercore, into second pylon, into gas. This is just... ShoWTimE can do this in his sleep. I bet some days he wakes up and he's moving his mouse and his mouse hand like he's playing StarCraft and doing a 1-gate expand. So there's the assimilator, there's the second pylon. And yeah, from here it gets interesting, but the first 2 minutes of Protoss are just super boring, as it's 1-gate expand. It's what they always do. Simulant Zerg here from Lambo. ShoWTimE is not running at all with the war chest skin for the Protoss, which is fine. ShoWTimE is one of the best in the world at this game, where you just try to steal some, you don't actually, try to steal anything. You're just messing up the pathing and the harvesting of the drones. You're getting in there, you're actually taking minerals they're trying to take, and it screws them up, right? We've talked about it before. It's really just something to do with your time as you're starting the game, because there's nothing else for ShoWTimE to be doing, really. He has opened up Stargate. He's going to try to go ahead and block this third base. Lambo's trying to get down, and yeah, 3 lings are enough to shove that away. Third base goes down at 2 minutes and 39 seconds. And we have an Adept moving out. Adept is going to go ahead and try to save the probe. The probe is not actually getting chased out, because Lambo knows there is an Adept coming. And Overlord just sitting up here saying, hey dudes, what's up? We're going to see what's come out of here, because it's not going to be a Stalker probably. It's just going to be multiple Adepts. And in fact, it is multiple Adepts. We have more drones on the way. And is that enough? Is 3 lings enough to actually dissuade this from happening? Apparently it is. Just checking the saturation on the natural. Sees a pretty darn good saturation. Not going to be a crazy 2-base all-in. This third base was not canceled. It did actually go down. And now ShoWTimE can move into whatever the heck he wants to move into, which is going to be Phoenix play. So he's moving up to some Phoenix stuff, which if you see an early Phoenix, could either be Masked Phoenix or Phoenix Oracle. And it is, in fact, this time around, gonna be the Phoenix Oracle as our friendly neighborhood Overlord. That has speed, by the way. That's a really fast speed upgrade. Oh my gosh, this is maybe the fastest one I've ever seen. Anyway, he's gonna die. So this Oracle's name is gonna be Prometheus. This Titan once brought fire to humanity. He was punished by Zeus by having his heart constantly eaten by a bird. Prometheus escaped and has used his remaining divine power to take control of his Oracle to bring as much fire to as much of the galaxy as he can prefer, in defiance of Zeus's punishment. However, Prometheus is a bit too direct with his gift of fire, and he is absolutely insane. You see how sane you are after getting your heart eaten for 4,000 years. Yeah, it's the gift of fire to the Zerg. That's all he's doing. Trying to make that stuff happen. Now, the Queen's here. This Warcrawler is here. I just don't see this working too well. ShoWTimE has done this a million times. Lambo knows it's coming. So there's the lift. Oh, actually wasted a shot on that Spore. That was not good control. Only 2 drones go down, and a ton of damage is taken on those units. So Lambo handled that about as well as he can. ShoWTimE kind of messed it up a little bit, but he's fine. He'll be fine with it. Back home, he is working on additional gateways. He's got a Templar Archives coming in here, so likely we're going to see some type of Archon play. I feel like we're going to see some Archon play early. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if that is going to be the case. Going to go ahead and try to take a third base here. There is a Ling scouting it. Ling does die. Oracle is a big part of this base defense. So Oracle and Adepts are here just in case a Ling Flood shows up to try to shut that third base down. They are ready to rock. And is that... yes, that is going to be a lair upgrade. Phoenix does fly around. Actual real-life Phoenix, too. Flying around, taking some queen shots, but not much else. Trying to kill that Overlord or just harass it at the very least. Creep spread for Lambo is pretty darn good. I do like Lambo. He's a pretty darn good Zerg player. He plays fast. He plays well. He is more than a match for ShoWTimE here. And ShoWTimE's third base is on the way. So I'd like to see Lambo go for a fourth there, possibly, or down the left side here, too. Really doesn't make any, you know, I don't really have any personal preference about that. And that's kind of a cool looking weird temple thing here on year 0. See, here's Amon. Still hanging out. Got a lot of eyes on him. And yeah, here we go. We've got the War Prism. We've got the 2 Archons. We are ready to rock. I'm going to try to play this game where we just kill stuff. We kill stuff without dying. It's, you know, sounds simple, but it's harder than it sounds. Getting a shot off there. Killing queens is always really, really nice if you can do it. But can't. Too many queens present, too many lings present. Overlord is still scouting, sees the forge on the way. Where the heck is the robotics facility, by the way? There it is. It's north. I was like, I missed that in the build. Archons now with Observer. Now can kill creep tumors. Might as well get that stuff started. Ling runs by. Oh, does manage to... Oh, came back in to die. The Archon cursorily just goes and takes it out. Another Phoenix is here to kill this Overlord that has been scouting everything that ShoWTimE is trying to do, which is such fun. Warp Prism cruising on in, and maybe a few drones here, but nah, enough Lings show up to actually slow them down a little bit. These guys are racking up the kills, though. 10 kills and 6 kills. Roach is finally popping out, and that is about the time to get on out of there, especially considering Hydras are on their way now, and an Infestation Pit, and some shots at the 4th base. Lambo is just doing a great job, just shoving away everything that ShoWTimE is trying to do and getting up his own economy and his own tech at the same time. So we're going to go Ling, Bane, Hydra in the early stages of the game for Lambo. He's going for centrifugal hooks on his Banelings. Baneling us down here at the 3rd base. And it's going to be pretty darn good, depending on what we see here out of ShoWTimE. He's going Immortal, which surprisingly not very good against Ling, Bane, Hydra. Immortals really get wrecked by Hydralisks. Zerglings too. Banelings, yes. If you're crashing your Banelings into Immortals, you're doing it wrong. And I assume Lambo knows better than that. Going to drop here, maybe kill this creep. Yep, slow down that creep spread. Go ahead and pump up those kill numbers. Looking pretty good, Mr. and Mrs. Archon there. Or perhaps they're 2 dude Archons. Or perhaps they're married. I don't know. I don't judge Protoss culture at all. Spire on the way from Lambo. I'm loving that. It might just be a straight up, he's trying to get into Broodlords and just staying alive long enough by using Hydras and Lings and whatnot to where he can get to Broodlords. Because if you try to rush to Broodlord, you're gonna die. There's really no saving that. You just don't have enough time. 4th base attempt here by ShoWTimE. This is an early, a bit of a greedy 4th. I don't know if Lambo's going to try to punish that or just possibly... Ooh, hey, Amon, what's up? As we just have our small little insignificant Phoenixes trying to kill this Overlord up here. He's doing weird stuff because he can't fly this far north. And you start kind of mashing your face against that invisible barrier. So yeah, Lambo, you have a couple choices. We can attack into this and try to kill that 4th base of ShoWTimE's, or, as the Overlord does die to the Archon, try to take a 5th base down here to the south, which seems like probably the best option, if you ask me. That said, Army Supply 82 to 58. I kind of feel like Lambo wants to get over there and wreck it, but it's a long rush distance. Your creep spread is not there to really support you in case things go poorly, and you have to retreat. Zerglings cruising on up, not catching that stasis ward the Oracle has tossed on down. Prometheus is still alive, mind you. Here's the guy. He's got his 2 kills, just hanging out. He's really stopped trying to deliver fire to humanity or to Zergmanity or the Zergs. How do you say humanity for Zerg? I don't know. Zergmanity, I think, makes sense. And check it out. It is a greater spire. So Lambo really wants to go Broodlord at some point here. And he's really happy to sit here on 4th bases as long as the composition here for ShoWTimE is all this ground stuff. You got some Storm and an Archon, but most of the stuff does not shoot up. And if you can get Broodlords here, you're going to be up for a pretty darn good time. Otherwise, Ling, Bane, Hydra are going to struggle against this. Adepts trade pretty well with Hydra. Storm is amazing against Hydras and Lings and Banelings. Storm is good against pretty much anything that Zerg has, including those Broodlords, if they can get into a good enough position. Look how weird the Xel'Naga Watchtower is. There's like a black hole portal underneath it, which doesn't seem to affect anything, but it would be interesting to hold a Xel'Naga tower. It just slowly drains your health over time. Not much like your Ling would die here in 2 seconds, but slowly drained it off just for flavor. Hey, look who's got carriers. ShoWTimE's making carriers. The fleet beacon is done. Carriers are done. Man, if you guys aren't sitting at 197 supply at 10 minutes, you're doing it wrong. Watch Lambo's example here on how to max out and have tier 3 stuff on the way. So very, very good. All right, so this ground army is tiny and will get wrecked by this army of Lambos if he can get into it, but the carriers do help quite a bit here. Zergling's thinking about getting in, but no carrier has arrived. It's time to get out. These lings got caught in a stasis trap. In a stasis ward. Oh, War Prism. Jabba. Jabba. War Prism down. Creep spread. Pushing. Looking pretty good. Again, it's a really big map, so creep spread is hard, but Lambo doing a pretty good job with it, throwing up a 5th base in the bottom left-hand corner. Happily mining from it. These lings trying to do stuff. These roaches coming in here too. Don't really accomplish much, as it turns out. Resource loss for Lambo, 2,600 to 425 for ShoWTimE. There's your Corruptor's Neural Parasite coming in to try to deal with those carriers. Zerglings, Banelings, Hydra, Storm! And chasing those Hydras away. And holding the Xel'Naga Watchtower while simultaneously trying to kill this Spore Crawler are a couple Adepts. Poking on it again, Lingbane Hydra trying to do stuff. Plus 2 attack is done for these ground units. Absorbing those Baneling shots are some Zealots. Not good. That is not good trade for those Zealots at all. Hydra's trying to attack on in. More Zealots are getting warped in at the point of attack. Warp is really, really good, but he's just buying time for Broodlords, I think. And making 7 Infestors. Ooh, we're going to see Simulant Broodlords. Not something I've seen, I don't think. This might be the first time. I've seen Mech Broodlords, but not Simulant Broodlords, which I think are probably largely the same. But we'll keep an eye on it anyway. Zerglings trying to cruise on up. Attack at the south, getting stormed and chased away. Zerglings coming into this 5th base attempt of ShoWTimE and actually doing pretty well, getting rid of a lot of those probes. All right, and then carriers are forced to deal with it. Meanwhile, Storm and all the Hydras down south. Just the Immortals, 9 kills, 10 kills. Templar with 2, Templar with 9. Well shut down, and the attack of the north is shut down too by the Protoss army. So he's at 189 supply. Lambo's down to 154. There are Broodlords, but he needs the Neural Parasite. Is he going to try to get up here and Neural it? Nice feedback on that Infestor. They have their new smaller model, which means they're harder to target, but they're still pretty chunky out there. At least compared to High Templar and at least compared to Ghosts. So here are the Broodlords that are Simulant. I kind of like them. I kind of do. It's a good skin. It's a good one to have. All right, so attacking down this left side, we got Zealots, we got Immortals. There are a handful of Hydras here. It's not going to be enough. Where are the Zerglings? The Spines are pretty good. The Spines are great against the Zealots. The Spines are bad against the Immortals. Zerglings coming around the backside to try to finish these dudes off. They're trying to get rid of the Spines themselves. You guys are got in the right neighborhood, but fine. You figured it out eventually. Creep spread really pushing now. More Infestors in production for Lambo. Going for a Robotics Bay here, too. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Disruptor, possibly some Colossus in the mix here, too. But generally, the composition that I've seen that really works against Zerg here is going to be Carrier, Archon, Void Ray, High Templar, which we don't have, actually. We have an Archon, we have some High Templar, but no Void Rays at all. But I guess the answer, yeah, I mean, Lambo's not going Corruptor, so the Void Rays are not going to be good. Good answer there. Good response there from ShoWTimE. Creep spreading, still continuing to push on in here. There are some dead tumors. There are some live tumors coming in as well. And really, ShoWTimE has not been able to mess with Lambo for quite some time. Are we going to mine this whole map out? This is the only base remaining. Actually, these 2 bases left on Lambo's side of the map. These guys are going to get recalled. There's no way. The pretty good Storm there. Another great Storm. Kind of storming your own stuff there, but I guess you have more HP than the Zerg units do, so that's fine. Still continuing to push on in. The Broodlords are coming back to try to save it, but again, they're so slow. They are so dang slow. I guess you just make 42 Lings to handle this, and you should be just fine. And in fact, you are. As the Lings do have adrenal glands, they have +2 with +3 attack on the way. And there we go. Broodlords. Chop, 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 chop. That's going to really force this army back. It's only 2 of them, but it seems like it's enough. That carrier wanders into some spores, takes some shots to the face, does not get neural parasited in time to be killed. And here we go. Here come the Zerglings, though. And yeah, that's just... They're trying to get that hatchery. I don't think they will. You know what? They're going to get it. Holy crap. What a snipe. What a snipe by ShoWTimE. That was amazing stuff. All right, well, never mind then. Never mind replanting the hatches Lambo because he's good. And here's an Archon. Here are the carriers. We're pushing in. We're pushing back the creep as best we can. Revelation getting tossed down by Prometheus over here, who has exactly 2 kills still. Hasn't really done a lot of fire sharing for quite a while now. But yeah, Lambo should expand. He really should. Just expand in mine. Get up as much of bank as you can. Call it good. Luke is expanding now. ShoWTimE definitely is, but one of his bases that he wants to go to is full of creep, which is really, really frustrating. But he's just being extremely patient. He's got the disruptors out. Okay. So disruptors are going to try to catch some of these spores, which... fine. You killed 2 of them. That seems decent. They're free units. Purification Novas don't cost anything, so that's totally fine. But yeah, I'd love to see Lambo expand to these 2 bases. He's got a decent bank for it. He's maxed out. He's getting upgrades. I love that. But maybe just expanding and having enough of a bank to remax on Corruptors, right, would be pretty good. Once again, Nova's trying to do stuff. There's another Revelation, just trying to keep tabs on this army. And both players being pretty patient right now. ShoWTimE in a defensive position. Lambo just setting up with creep everywhere. Look at him moving these spores up. I love this. Out of Lambo. Into range of cannons, I don't like as much. But maybe if the Broodlords come in and clear those suckers out. Transfuse trying to keep it alive. And it does actually keep it alive here. So the Broodlings are firing, picking off one of the Broodlords with the Interceptors. Another one goes down. Fungals are happening. Infested Terrans getting tossed down, trying to get rid of those Interceptors too. Interceptor count cannot be all that healthy. Right now it is 77, but for this number of carriers, it's actually not all that good. Look at him spreading creep further on in here too. We got a Time Warp coming up. Wow, a lot of Interceptors going down. Nova's getting some decent hits off there, but the Spore's doing incredible damage. Lings rolling in and picking off probes in the midst of all this chaos right now. They are +3 Lings with adrenal glands. Lambo is making this thing happen. Fungal getting tossed down on the carriers themselves, which is not really what you want to be doing, but that base is down. ShoWTimE ends up losing the Nexus. Fungaling all over on these Interceptors, hurting them quite immensely. There's a Neural Parasite on one of the carriers. They're going to kill that with Queens and Spores. I have to assume that's the intent. Yes, they do snipe one of them down. And suddenly, it's 136 to 128 army supply. ShoWTimE is up, but he's in trouble. These Queens overextending a little bit. They're going to die. Spore Crawler's up, continuing to push on over to the space that ShoWTimE used to own. Lambo making 5 Infestors at a time. He won that engagement pretty handily. He took out the space of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE really doesn't have anywhere else to go except for here, and now he can't even go here now because the creep has expanded down so far to the south. Trying to kill these tumors. I guess trying to kill some of these tumors and these spores. But it's just, there's more Corruptors in the sky now. That is a little bit scary. The Corruptor count is suddenly insane right now. There are suddenly 27 Corruptors. Assimilation successful, but he does break it. ShoWTimE manages to break that assimilation successful play. I really feel like Lambo kind of has this game. I mean, he's really got ShoWTimE bugged into a corner here. ShoWTimE's income is going to be less over time than Lambo's is, and Lambo can make good trades here. Shield battery down. Again, anything you can kill here is a victory because you're just using Broodlings and those are free units. Trying to swing up here and maybe clear out space for this base. He is faster than Lambo's army is, so far so good at clearing out these spores and these creep tumors. It will recede fairly quickly here too. Gonna go more fungal on the Interceptors, kind of trying to chain fungal them down. Can't actually get them to see if their HP is getting low on that or not, but how many Queens are up here? Can we respread that creep is the question right now. What an insane ZVP this is. Thanks, spawningtool.com. Check them out, man, for replays and for build orders and whatnot. Those probes are just to clear up supply for ShoWTimE. Gonna try to kill some of these spores before they actually come up, but no, there's just too many. There's just too many of them. This reminds me so much of Wings of Liberty. Nice Nova hits on some of those Infestors. The Fungals just don't do a lot. I'm really surprised we're seeing these on this Sky Toss army. It's just not what you want. Nice feedbacks. There go the Infested Terrans. The Broodlords are dealing with the ground army pretty darn well. What an absolutely chaotic situation right now. I can't even tell what's going on. I feel like the Neural Parasite is really, really good. The ground army is basically gone to these Broodlords. The Corruptors are picking off carriers one by one right now. And it is 113 to 104 army supply. Lambo has the lead. He's picking off carriers. There's another one that goes down. Wow, fantastic job. But at the same time, we got probes attacking down here, which really doesn't count for anything unless they do kill some drones, which they're very capable of doing. Probes are good fighters, as it turns out. All right, so after that engagement, resources lost pretty much even, 24,000 to 23,000 in favor of ShoWTimE there. Just a tiny little bit. They are killing drones. Look at these guys go. Look at them. They don't benefit from attack upgrades, but they do benefit from shield and armor upgrades, which is useful. As we can see, here. Actually, I forgot on this replay interface, you can't see exactly what upgrades units have. You have to go to the upgrades, and you can see what's been researched, but what benefits from it is actually not part of this, strangely enough. All right, so creep spread's still here. ShoWTimE has managed to take this base down south, but Lambo needs to shut this sucker down. He's up in army supply. He's trying to regen some of his health after that last battle. This Broodlord has 8 kills, 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, 8 kills. Pretty good stuff on the Broodlord army. This one has 1 and is shirking his responsibility for sure. Okay, so after going ahead, kind of resetting up over here, I think we're going to caustic spray down this Nexus. Dude, ShoWTimE is in trouble. Cancels. He cancels. He's trying to take this base in the top right too, but again, there's creep to get rid of. He wants to push this creep back as much as Protossly possible. I don't know that he's going to be able to, though. I mean, that's as far as he can go, I think, with it before Lambo decides to move on in here. So ShoWTimE is effectively on 4 bases, which at the 21-minute mark is not where he wants to be. The base for Lambo is up and running. He's happily mining. His income is about double that what ShoWTimE is looking at right now, and Lambo is just playing the slow starve him out game. It's kind of Serral style a little bit here in this ZVP. More Fungals getting tossed down all over the place. Does he catch? Oh, Fungal doesn't work on Purification Novas. I learned something today. That was kind of neat. It's kind of neat we ended up seeing that one. Vipers on the way. Yeah, man, some Vipers would be pretty good. If you could go ahead and abduct a carrier into this Corruptor group and just insta-kill it, that'd be fantastic. Creep getting pooped down here to the south. I mean, getting replanted up here, but ShoWTimE hasn't had a 5th base in what feels like 5 or 6 minutes, which is just crushing. It's crushing to his attempts to really make anything happen here. This observer's been here for a long time, and I keep thinking it's something, but it's not. It's just an observer. Expanding again. Let's see. So the Zerg player has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases now. Yep, 6 bases now. Where ShoWTimE has 5. He does have his 5th. It's up and running right now. Lambo's not super interested in shutting that thing down right now. What are the upgrades at? He's got 3, 3, 2, 3, 2. So pretty good upgrades across the board here. Viper sucking energy off of that Spore. Yeah, if Lambo can shut down this base, I think that might be it for ShoWTimE. I really don't see ShoWTimE coming back from this, but he does have the ability to just win here. That said, that is so many. That might be the most infestors I've seen in a cast ever. Ever! In the history of 2,000 videos on my channel, this is so many infestors. Well, there's one less anyway, and there are some. They're okay, so Mothership down. There goes your cloak. That's what I was worried about. The abduct on something insta-killed Mothership. That's what it was there. Lambo's just so patient. Almost lethargic at how he's doing this. He's like, yeah, we're good. We're creeps spreading. We're just slowly taking stuff down. ShoWTimE going for a base race. Oh my gosh. I think ShoWTimE's going for the base race, you guys. He's going to push across the top left here, and Lambo's going home to deal with this. The problem here, there are Void Rays in the composition now. The problem here is that ShoWTimE can kill stuff and then just recall home. So honestly, sending some stuff to kill this, maybe sending the Broodlords to kill that. Well, you send the Corruptors to handle this. Trying to fungal down, wow, fungaling down Disruptors is really weird. Storm on the Changelings, and then just comes back home. He's like, your Broodlings, or your Broodlords are so dang slow. Actually, 1 Disruptor down there to Broodlings, which is not a great trade. Oh, the Archons are in trouble too. There's a surround on 1. Gets neural parasited, and then killed. Prometheus is here with a friend. Does Prometheus have any additional kills? No, just the 2. Just the 2, don't worry about it. So ShoWTimE wasn't able to kill a base of Lambos, which is kind of a big deal. This one is pretty much dead anyway. That's what he was threatening. Regardless. More spores coming up. Another fungal on the Disruptors. It's very weird, man. But Chain Fungal on the High Templar is not bad. He's going to lose his HT. And no. One of the High Templars is still alive over there, despite the fact that it has very low HP. Oh, pre-carriers there. If you want them. I don't know if you do. More Fungals happening. More Infested Terrans getting thrown. Now, their anti-air is insane, but they're all also completely dead. The Void Rays are fantastic right now against these Corruptors, but I think there are just too many of them. Wow, the Sky Toss army is melting here. The Void Rays are still alive. Now they're gone. There's too many corruptors remaining. The carriers are toast. The brand new mothership is toast as well. There's too many brood lords in the sky, and Lambo ends up taking the win over ShoWTimE in something of an upset there. When I loaded this game, I thought for sure we were going to see a ShoWTimE win, just based on the fact that I think ShoWTimE is definitely favored as far as a Ligulac is concerned. But that's why we play the games. That's why we play the games. That's why we watch the games, is specifically for that reason. Amazing. Amazing, amazing stuff here today from both of these players. Well done by Lambo. Taking down ShoWTimE, one of the best Protoss players in the entire world. Just through patience, that was the key. I've said that more than once. The Broodlords really hanging back, really not doing much other than just providing distractions, right? Distractions for cannons, distractions for Archons, distractions for High Templar. The Corruptor's really doing the damage here, and then the Void Rays, just not enough Void Rays, not enough Storm. The upgrades, again, I'd like to point out, were fantastic. That's +3 Flyer Carapace and a +2 Flyer attack there. So, I mean, it really helps you survive when there's Void Rays bearing down upon you. But yeah, ShoWTimE recognized this space was gone. His army was gone. The Corruptor Ball was much too big and much too well upgraded. Lambo had too many sources of income where ShoWTimE was struggling and fighting to keep his own 5th. And that is the win. That is the win there for Lambo. Making the Infestors work, man. Good stuff. All right. Well, you know what? That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch. All at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.